Hi, it's Joni from Green Goddess here. I wanted to do a little tip for you. So, lots of women that I know have had extensions in, and as a result have got really damaged hair. They've got bald patches, bits aren't growing. Sometimes your hair almost goes into shock after holding and having that sort of extension glued to it or micro linked, whatever, for so long. Your hair sort of goes into shock and it tends to not grow even when you've taken them out. So I, for a long time, have wanted to do a video on how to get your hair growing again naturally. So my first tip one, the most important thing that I have done is I changed my shampoo. So my shampoo previously, in another life, in my non-toxic life, would just be whatever kind of shampoo and something, you know, pretty snazzy with a great name. And what it would do is it would strip all the oils off my hair. Now, as a result, my hair was really dry and frizzy. So then you would coat it with a conditioner. Well, commercial conditioners contain silicone. So whilst your hair feels soft, it's not soft at all. There's no difference to the actual condition underneath, and no nutrients are getting to your hair. It's just being covered in a very thin silicone film. So tip number one, change your shampoo to a natural shampoo. A shampoo that is not going to strip all your oils off your hair. And ideally, what would be really good, and is something that we will be bringing out, so I'm probably going to set up something for you guys to pre-order, but we also have loads of botanics that are actually feeding the hair. And I strongly suggest, tip number one, take away your commercial shampoo. Take away your commercial conditioner. That's tip number one. Tip number two, start conditioning your hair every week with a mixture of castor oil and either an almond oil or an olive oil. Castor oil is really thick, so you just need to get it to so it's a little bit easier to sort of put on your hair. You can even mix it with a natural conditioner. This is going to really benefit your hair. You're going to start to bring those nutrients back into your hair. It really supports growth. So that's tip number two, a weekly super conditioner with castor oil mix. Tip number three, start to feed your body nettles. Nettles are full of irons and vitamins. Anybody who comes to me who says that they're having issues with their hair, one of the first things that I ask them to do is go out and get foraging. Forage those nettles. Get to the root if you can, but if not, nettle leaves are fine. You take them home, put them in some water so you can just get rid of all of those insects. And then you want to put them in some boiling hot water. I'd use a couple of pints of water. Start to set it on simmer for say 15 minutes or maybe even only 5 minutes, and then take it off, but just allow that water to macerate. Then use a sieve to take those herbs out of the hair, out of the water, after they've had a good 20 minutes at least of macerating, and you might need to top up more water. drink as much of that as you can. If you were doing a couple of pints, and that's a couple of bunches of nettles every day, you are going to start to really see an increase in your hair, in your skin. Just, you're going to be really topping yourself up with Mother Nature's best. Really, nettles are one of the best herbs that we've got to offer in this country. If you've got problems with your scalp, I strongly suggest mixing up a rosemary oil of some kind and just massaging that on your head. If you want hair growth, you have to have a healthy scalp. If you don't have a healthy scalp, your hair won't grow. So again, purchase a really good rosemary oil, or take rosemary from your garden. Put it in like a slow cooker and leave it for like 3 hours with castor oil, with olive oil, and mix up some sweet almond oil, some sort of carrier oil, and you just allow those herbs on a medium, I would say, at least a medium, not high but medium, maybe for 3 hours, and then take it down to low and leave it overnight, so that when you take those herbs out in the morning, you've got this strong rosemary oil. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your fingertips, obviously when it's cool, and just massage all of your head, really stimulate those follicles. Again, I would do this as a conditioning treatment and leave it on, I don't know, at least overnight. I tend to do it on a day that I know I'm working at home, so I can just sort of leave that. And it might take a couple of shampoos, maybe up to sometimes 3 shampoos to get all of that oil out. But you'll see that if you start doing this weekly, you are going to see the amazing difference that it has to your hair. In fact, if you wanted to go really, really super, you would macerate sage as well. Sage and rosemary together. Yeah, and nettles. If you wanted to do the full whammy, get like an amazing conditioning oil that your treatment that you're using both in your scalp, and then just take it all the way through your hair. And you can even cover yourself in cling film to really heat that up and sleep in it. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it's better than sleeping with henna and indigo, which I will talk about in another video. That was natural dyeing. So very natural dyeing your hair. Anyway, I digress. So finally, I would also suggest creating a finish rinse. So after you've shampooed your hair and after you've conditioned your hair, again, I would take loads of nettles, loads of sage. I would first just allow them to soak in a bit of water for 5 minutes so you can get rid of all of the insects. I would then transfer it to, say, about 4 pints of water, put it on the boil for about 5 minutes, then take it off and just let it macerate for another 15. And I would use that water as a final rinse. So that literally means you've washed your hair, you've conditioned your hair, you're about to get out the shower. Obviously wait for this water to go cold, by the way. Pour this water over your hair. You can add a tiny bit of like half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar with it, which is going to give it a real shine. And yeah, just do a final rinse and rinse your hair through with that. I'd be really interested to hear people's experiences of this, but I can absolutely assure you, I cut my hair to here literally, I'd say 4 months ago, and my hair is now all the way down to here, and that has happened through mainly through using my shampoo and conditioner, because I have a hair growth shampoo and conditioner that I've been trialing, and you'll be able to order that very soon on my website, www.joni, that's Joni-greengoddess.co.uk. But I just wanted to give you a tip. So how to grow your hair naturally, they're the top tips. Thanks very much for listening. Bye.